Okay, this is going to be a brief tutorial for adding assignments to your school website. You'll notice here that on my school website, on my left-hand side, I have a weekly agenda, and this is where I post my assignments. So if you were to click on this weekly agenda, let's go ahead and take a look at an example of how it would look. I'm down here on week 12 of my agenda. There are multiple weeks, so 1 through 37 here. But if we're looking at week 12, I picked week 12 because we got some stuff we can look at. Right over here, there's an independent practice on impulse and momentum problems. If we were to go ahead and click on this, it would prompt you for a password. This is what the students would see too. They'd have to enter a password. And the reason for that is just to make sure that any copyright material isn't shared with people who haven't purchased it right, not within the school district. At this point, you'll see that this is a worksheet that we purchased from Plano. And this worksheet, the students can access it from pretty much anywhere, their smartphones, anywhere with an internet connection. PDF is a really good universal format for accessing material. So PDF is really the best way to put up notes. You can put PDFs of your PowerPoint presentations, you can put PDF of all your assignments, and it makes it really easy for the students to access everything that you do in class. Okay, so let's take a look at how exactly we go about putting these assignments up there. It's actually very easy. So let's go ahead and look at this STAR Physics EOC practice test number 1. So this might be an assignment that I might give in class, for example, and for class I might have to print these as handouts. So I'll go down here to print. When I click on print, I would print them to the closest printer, faculty printer, and I would print however many copies I needed, and then after I printed those copies, I would come up here to Adobe Pdf. So if we click on Adobe Pdf and we click OK, it's going to ask us where we want to save the file and what we want the file name to be. This is pretty important. For file name, I'm just going to put pretest. It's best to make these names as simple as possible. When you put in spaces and stuff like that, it can kind of cause some confusion when you're doing the URL. So try to keep it as one word type names. It'll make it easier on you later on. So I'm just going to go ahead and put pretest here as the file name for this document, and I'll go ahead and save to my desktop. You'll notice up here at the top it's actually creating the PDF of that file. There's several pages, up to 22 it looks like here, but it goes pretty quick, and once it's done creating that file, it will pop it up on my screen. Now, not all computers have this software, but the school does have a license for Adobe Acrobat. So if you're interested in using this type of thing in class or with your kids, getting the assignments up in PDF, there are free PDF makers out there, but like I said, the school has a software that does it better, and it allows you to print like I just did really quickly. So it pops up onto your screen once you've printed it to PDF. It'll be the exact same document. And at this point, you can secure it the way that I had a password by going up here to the secure button. So if we click on secure, we can encrypt with password. And down here it says require a password to open the document. You'll click that, and you'll enter whatever password you've chosen to use. Click OK. It'll ask you to confirm it. And at this point, you'll notice up here it just says pretest.pdf. Now once we save, it'll go change it to secured because we just entered a password for that. So anytime I open this document from now on, it's going to ask me or prompt me for that password that I just input. So we'll go ahead and close this window because we don't need it anymore. We'll minimize that. And again, we're talking about linking these to the weekly agenda. So the way that we have to do this, the way that you maintain your website is actually through First Class. So if we go to First Class, you'll notice that when you click on your teacher conference, website conference, here you can click on the plus sign. It'll open up all the files, sub-files under here. And in downloads, we'll want to double click that because we want to put the file that I just created into this download section. It's really easy to upload the files here. Let me go ahead and show you how we do that. So right here on my desktop is this pretest file that I just created. All you have to do is drag it and drop it. It's that simple. Okay? I'm just going to drag it and drop it into here. Alright, from there we can go back, click on your teacher conference, and you can click on wherever you put your assignments. In my case, it's the weekly agenda, so I'll click there. Okay, from here, I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to pick Memorial Day. It's the very bottom. as a place to put my homework link, so I'll delete this. I'm just going to go up here to Insert, Link. Right here where it says Target URL, you're going to use the URL for your web page initially, and then you're going to fill it in with the downloads and file section. So we'll go here to the URL. Your main web page URL is right here. So it's southwesthhighschool.swsd.net/teachers/Irby for me. So I'll click that, I'll copy it. Where it says Format Link, I'm going to put that in there. And we're going to fill in the back part of this with the file name. So if I go over here to the example here, you'll notice here the next thing after Irby is downloads, and then the file name for this one was Independent Practice on Impulse and Momentum Problems. So we don't have to put this part, but we do have to put the downloads, type in the downloads, because that's the file that we put it into our first class. Okay, so we'll come over here, we'll type in downloads, / and we said it was pre-test, that's the file name. Remember I said to make it one word, usually that makes it a lot easier on you. You don't have to worry about the link to marker. You can put a link title in here, so I'll put EOC pretest. We'll click OK. And now we have our link. So to actually, you'll notice that it says EOC pretest when I scroll over that. When I click on it, it'll let me type in the name of it, so we'll type in EOC pretest right there. And now we've created our link, and we just have to save and close. I'll go back to my web page to show you that it's on there. So we'll go ahead and reload this page. Okay, and again, that was all the way down here on Memorial Day. We have EOC pretest is now showing up on Memorial Day, and when I click on that, it should load the PDF document. Here it's asking for that password I created. And there it is. So my students can now access that test from anywhere. It took me just a few minutes. It actually took me a little bit longer to explain it, but once you start doing it on your own, it goes really quickly because you start memorizing what your URL was. You know that you have to put downloads and then the file name. So these are all things that with practice come very quickly, and you're able to, within a few minutes of printing your original document here in Word for your kids to have as a handout in class, you're able to now also put it onto your website so that, their parents and they can also access it from pretty much anywhere. Take away a lot of those excuses for losing homework and stuff like that. I had some kids who would actually, they had iPads, and when they came to class, they would download the assignments from the website if they were available, and they would do them on their iPad and then email them to me. So, a lot of opportunities for incorporating this into your classroom. And again, with accountability, it really helps, put the onus on our students to really do their part in accessing this stuff, as well as their parents. So that concludes the brief tutorial on putting your assignments onto your website.